They got you, Keita.
What's going on, fam? It is the Green Okie coming back to you again with another video breakdown. So I'm gonna get right into it. So in today's video, we're going to go over the colloquial term simp, S-I-M-P. This is not P-I-M-P. This is S-I-M-P. Okay, we're going to go over simp and how I have come to understand this colloquial pop term. So without further ado, let's get into it. So over the years, we have come across terms such as sucker, buster, lame, loser, L7, and others, which ultimately can be summed up to mean pitiful. But the latest word, simp, is something that seems to have been born from the social media digital age. At first, I thought the word was derived from simpleton, which definitely could apply to today's word, but for me, it also goes beyond the textbook definition on what we have read as far as a simpleton. So after hours of hearing the word and seeing how it is applied in everyday use and, just seeing it everywhere in all these videos, it's like it has become the new gay, in today's pop culture. Since, of course, you can't say, hey, this is gay. Well, at least it's kind of being phased out or whatnot. So now the new word seems to be simp, as far as dating and relationships are concerned. So we're going to go over a couple themes for today's video, and these three themes or these ideas is what I think contributes to the simp nature. And the first topic is going to be over women, while the second topic is going to be over no self-confidence, and the third topic is going to be over fear of loss. And with these three ideas and circumstances, this is what is ultimately going to drive simp behavior. So let me go over the first. So women. So women can be simps, but usually this term is almost exclusively used for a man, right? So why, may you ask? Well, there are traits to look out for to figure out if you have a simp on your hand. The first clue is a lack of self-confidence. The second trait is a fear of loss. And third is desperation, right? Once all of these traits are identified, it must be almost exclusively driven by a woman's attention, or just basically just her attention and the idea of her giving you affection, right? So let me explain. So this is the no self-confidence section. So if you ever come across a confident person, then you know that this person's word or actions aren't necessarily dictated by external factors, but an inner resolve that, despite if he or she is wrong, will commit to their ideals and values. However, with a simp, this person lacks an inner resolve, and even when they do find a resolve, it is more than likely to be compromised by a woman. The reason for this compromisation is due to this individual lacking the spirit to talk to women and allowing rejection. Instead of working on himself, he immediately gives up his resolve to earn brownie points with a lady. This ultimately feeds into the second trait. Now, before we go into the fear of loss, so basically with this one is, you see, when you don't have any self-confidence, it hinders your ability to really, can I say, think straight and logical. Because if I tell you, hey, the sky is red, and you know for damn sure that the sky is blue or black at night or whatever, and you may end up accepting it, right? Because you don't have this type of maybe fight, or can I say, yeah, you don't have this fight in you that will say otherwise. Even if you are wrong in a sense, it's not necessarily that you're wrong. It's about your resolve and you coming to the conclusion that maybe you are finally wrong. Not necessarily backing down from your ideals, like at least not immediately, but maybe after some time you come to realize, like, oh, okay, maybe I should have done this and I should have done that, versus say, oh, okay, hey, the sky is red. Oh, okay, I guess the sky is red. And you just kind of whimper off and demur and things like that. Just to kind of end the conversation, because you don't know how to put up an argument to defend your ideals. So this is with the no self-confidence. This is the first trait that is definitely simp-minded. So basically, this person, he's not going to have any self-confidence, or is going to be an extreme lack of confidence of where it should be. So like I said, this leads into the second trait, which is the fear of loss, right? So since this individual has given up the one thing that ultimately makes him a man at the end of the day, which is his resolve, he is now operating in a fear of no abundance. So this abundance meaning no more opportunities for sex, or no more opportunities for intimacy for whichever reasons he may drum up. It is this trait which takes this person down to another level, because he may think that if I don't do everything that she says, then she will leave me. But what is worse is that if he does agree with everything she says and she ends up dating him, then he has to always say yes, for maybe she will end the relationship or find another confident man. So as you can see, it's the confidence which is very key with women, right? So this is the worst scenario a man can be in, as his masculinity has been neutered right before his very eyes. See, which in turn has turned him into nothing more than a pet. And you see the whole thing with the latest craze and the single moms and stuff like that. And I'm not bashing any single moms, because there are ones of high caliber out there. But you see, whenever the so-called simp or whatever, he dates a single mom, he isn't really respected like that man. He is basically a pet with money. A pet with money who babysits. And this is why the stepfather's phenomenon, it's really controversial right now, because it's like that Game of Thrones, that blood runs deep, blood is thicker than water, right? So, and that's the whole reason why it's it pretty much isn't in a man's best interest to date a single mom. But that's another video, and I digress. So we see all kinds of pets on the streets nowadays, right? These pets are all desperate for food, right? Which leads into my final point. Now, did you see what I did there? Okay. Now, this is the last point of desperation. So, since the fear of loss is in full effect in the aftermath of his desperation, and this is when things get even worse and things start to fall apart, as when this person gets desperate, he goes full simp, as this person doesn't have a smooth mouthpiece that allows his personality to be articulated in his benefit, mostly pretty much just to get women. And he may resort to violence in order to force a woman's attention or hand, right? So things such as, stalking, you got pandering, excessive gifts, and, the cardinal sin of them all is, putting her needs over yours when no feasible relationship is established. Let me say that again. This is pretty much what a simp is right here, in clear as day. You put her needs over yours when no feasible relationship is established. I'm going to say it one more time. I got to get my Umar Johnson on. Right. When you put her needs over yours when no feasible relationship is established. So a feasible relationship meaning she attempts or tries to have outings with you. She attempts or enjoys your presence without money. She does little things to show you that you matter as a human being without money. When this person, you see, is desperate, this means that he, the simp, will pay all of her bills without receiving any intimacy or any validation as a human being at all. Or if he does receive some validation, it's only going to be transactional. And as soon as it stops being transactional, the relationship can end at the drop of a dime. It's basically just a mindfuck striptease of delusion in which the man doesn't want to let go of. But eventually, every deluded fool must come back to earth, which could ultimately mean death for one or both parties involved, as she definitely has another love interest, wink wink, side chick or whatever. She may even have told him about it, but he chose to ignore it. And you see, a lot of guys, even some married men, they know maybe that their significant other doesn't really love them unless they have money. But maybe they're up in age, or like I said, they lack the self-confidence, and their thinking is operating in the fear of loss. And that means, okay, there's not enough good women to go around, so I just have to accept this situation, you see, which is not good. Now, I'm going to kind of juxtapose this with a pimp, a PIMP, as in 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, or whatever, So if you have ever met a pimp, then it is the complete opposite of how a simp thinks. You see, a pimp operates out of abundance. Like a beautiful woman picking which guys she wants on Instagram or Tinder, Bumble or Hinge or whatever. But you see, for him, he's picking the women instead of the women picking him. Now, as you can see, just that mindset right there, I'm in control. The woman doesn't have any control over any functions of me. That right there is the pimp mindset in the beginning. You see, the way a pimp talks, for example, gaslighting and fear of loss will not work on a pimp, because he already has the mindset that this whole relationship is replaceable at a moment's notice. Just like a woman who has a simp, and if he isn't transactional, he can be replaced at a moment's notice. You see? So, for example, if I say, hey, can we please go to the sports store? It may elicit a positive response, right? If the woman really cares about you. But if I talk like this, bitch, you about to go to the fucking store right now. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, bitch, you better get your fucking ass up right now. You see, there's a whole difference in those two examples. You see, the way I did it is the first phrase, it was more passive, like, oh, can we please go to the store? And it's almost like you're asking your mother, like, okay, can I do something that I have the right to do, but I'm a grown man? Versus the pimp way, which is domineering, is just taking control. Like, bitch, get up. We about to go to the store. Like, what are you doing? Like, if you don't fucking get up, like, I'm fucking kicking your ass out. It's those two difference in tones and the word usage, right? So the second prompt, like I said, is more assertive and domineering. The simp isn't allowed to be domineering because he have a confidence issue, which leads him to having a fear of loss, which ultimately leads to desperation tones. These desperation tones are unattractive to women. I know what your question is now. If being a simp means to put the woman's needs above your own, does that mean all men who get married are simps? Well, this is a yes and a no question, as it depends on each individual situation. If the man is receiving fair value and care for his efforts, then no. However, if a man is only married to have sex with this woman, but only receives sex 5 times a year, then this man is a simp, as he did not do his due diligence on this woman before marrying her. You see, children almost always come before a man's needs, so they don't really get factored into the equation unless the father, like I said previously, is a stepdad. Which then there's another set of standards which should be calibrated for stepdads. You see, the whole thing is just that whenever you walk up to a woman, and it's just that you really do, you got that Will Smith movie Hitch. You only got like a couple seconds to make that good first impression. And it's going to be either the right move or it's going to be the wrong move. And everything is going to be basically calibrated from your confidence. So you can still be confident and still not get chosen and still have your confidence later. But if you come up to a woman, maybe not even really being shy, because you can be a shy, confident person as well. You see, but if it's like you're very timid and you're afraid that, oh, this woman is about to go for my balls. So, if you feel like you ain't packing, she gonna feel that, right? And then she's probably gonna capitalize off of it and then tell you no. Because you see, that's all psychological. So, but if you come up to a woman and you straight and you're a straight shooter, then it doesn't matter what you got or what's going on in your life, because that confidence is going to exude, and that confidence is the golden ticket to anything, not only with a woman but anything in life. So, but I also want to end on this note. I personally think that everyone under the age of 21 years is exempt from the term simp. And I say this mainly because, we as men don't grow up really until we're 21. And, as you're going through middle school and elementary, you can't call like an elementary kid a simp. Like, he's in elementary, right? So you're going to call a middle school student a simp. Like, he's just now kind of discovering his body. And then by the time you get in high school, you're starting to really figure out the world, see what's going on. And now you're starting to kind of be put into categories. So that's why I say 21 and over, you can be deemed as whatever. But anybody under that age, I don't really consider them a simp. I consider them really just learning about life. So if you don't feel bad if you're really spending money, if you're in middle school or high school, because you're trying to figure out the world. I mean, if you're just coming out perfect, then you're not a human being. But what I'm talking about are those people who are maybe they're 25, 30, 40, 50. I'm talking about those individuals who are making poor choices based on desperation, fear of loss, and no confidence. It is those three aspects of a simp which drive the simp nature, and then forces or even causes the female nature to be out of whack for what a real man is. So hey everybody, that's my video. This is the Green Okie. Don't fall for the okie doke, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye.